Alright, so this is a PowerA Spectra Enhanced, and yes, this is a different module. I soldered one on a while ago. Doesn't matter, the old one works basically the same. I've always wanted a stiffer thumbstick, but I've had to experiment with external springs on the outside of the controller and stuff like that. And while that works, I've always wanted a better looking solution and perhaps an easier solution. And what I'm trying right now is I've drilled a small hole through the PCB into the module. I know, sounds dangerous, but bear with me. Because this particular module and the original one, both of them, have a spring in the bottom that pushes the bottom, like a plastic part of the bottom of the module, up against the moving parts. So, unlike the stock Xbox modules and some other, I guess, the spring isn't on the pin in the middle itself, but rather below everything, below one of these little things that run in sort of a what do you call it, like plastic rails on the side. So a spring is here below, pushing this one up onto the plastic bottom of the pin, which means that if I could add a spring beneath everything, it would be stiffer. And I happen to know that the spring is just about this size, maybe a little smaller. I have one somewhere around here, but basically the diameter of a pen or something like that. So I found a very small, very stiff spring that I have. I even think it's from one of the DualShock analog modules. I'm not sure. It's very stiff, at least. And I drilled a small hole in the PCB, making sure I didn't touch some of the hard to see, like, what do you call it? The paths that go between the different um, components on here. So it's not exactly centered. I would have liked to have it centered, but that didn't seem to be possible on this particular PCB, because then I would have touched some of the pathways within. I did this with a knife and a flathead screwdriver, and now I'm going to insert this and push it down with like just a little plastic part that I glue on. And if it works, I'll show you in a bit. So this is the first part. The second part is testing the controller, and we'll see. So I'm gonna pause now, and I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so I've glued on actually a smaller piece of an old broken PCB board beneath. Could be plastic or metal or anything, I guess. With super glue, and the spring is in there. This one is insanely stiff, like almost impossible. Seems as if the uneven spring beneath, like because I had it a bit like further back and not centered, it looks like it pushed the pen just a super tiny bit forward. But since this is not a stock controller, because they fucking suck, pardon me, I can recalibrate it once I've done all this, assuming that it still works and I haven't broken anything. We'll see in a bit. Which means that it being slightly off-center won't matter. So we'll see, but that's how it looks now with the added part beneath. Now I'm just gonna reassemble, and I'm gonna try it out with a game controller tester on my Xbox. So once again, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, those are the LED lights. I don't want to touch the backside right now, so I'm not sure I can turn them off. And since I haven't figured out all the kinks yet, I'm not gonna put on the shell just yet. Currently a little bit short on thumbstick, so I borrowed the left one to the right side, and I got the Xbox to start. I'm opening the app with the A button. That's a good sign. I haven't broken too much, I guess. We're going into the new interface, and we're just gonna start testing straight away. Is this 0, 100, 100, 100, 100? Alright, well, of course, since I don't have the outer ring yet, it's gonna say 100 in the diagonals as well, which isn't actually standard, but something you can achieve if you want to, if you add like a thinner thumbstick. Anyway, I'm fairly certain that everything works. Yeah, tack a bit. Oh. Oh yeah, right. Because I reconfigured that one. Yeah, it seems to be working. I'm pretty sure this is a way to like dramatically increase the stiffness of your thumbstick without having to do any actual soldering. So if you have a piece of shit broken Xbox controller at home with a loose, because this actually fixes, like if you have like a little wiggle in the middle, this actually fixed that as well, because it pushes up the like bottom plastic plate towards the center pin. So if you have like a loose wiggly thumbstick and you're like, oh shit, I wish it was like stiffer and not as wiggly, here you go. You don't have to send it to Battlebee or Customs or anything like that. You don't have to desolder it and disassemble the entire module, which is, trust me, because I've been doing a lot of this weird shit, that's a pain in the ass. I can never get the module to get back together with a new spring in one piece, because, oh, Lord knows I just bend the metal in the wrong way. But just drill a hole beneath. I know this is a little off center right now. If I would have centered it, I guess it would have been better, but as I told you, like, I can recalibrate this so it won't matter as long as it doesn't bother me when I hold it, and it absolutely doesn't. So this is about, like, I would say this is about 2 or 3 times as stiff as a regular thumbstick right now. And I have done 0 soldering, like absolutely 0. I disassembled the controller. You're gonna have to do that, but like just use a small Phillips screwdriver, open it up and use a knife and that Phillips screwdriver I was talking about to just drill a hole, push another spring in there and just patch the hole, and there you are. Just make sure you have one of these modules, like you see, like that one. I think this one is the same one that's on a PS3 controller, I'm pretty sure. Do some research. Find what sort of module you have online, and if it has a spring in the bottom, then this tip is for you. If it doesn't, if it's the Xbox stock controller or the Xbox Elite 1 or 2, which I guess you wouldn't do this with anyway, it's not gonna work. The Microsoft products are not gonna work this way because they have the spring on the center pin, and if you put a spring beneath, it's just gonna pop up into the center pin plastic and keep it from moving. But man, super freaking cool. I'm gonna do a short video where I like test it on a kitchen scale in a bit, but keep in mind you can actually make your thumbstick a lot stiffer, like the tension is much higher without soldering, and I think that's pretty darn cool. Alright, see you guys, I guess. Bye.